Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Political Science Department Commencement Ceremony. I am Stephanie Rodriguez and will be your student host for this morning. Please rise for the national anthem that will be sung by Sandra Shanuda. Thank you.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Thank you. Congrats, class of 2017.
Wow, thank you, Sandra, that was amazing. Good morning. My name is Jeff Lewis, and I'm the chair of the Department of Political Science. On behalf of our faculty, it is my privilege to welcome you to today's celebration. Before we get started, I want to take a moment to thank our tremendous political science staff and our Political Science Students Organization for their work in planning and organizing this commencement. I also want to take a moment to memorialize the tragic and untimely passing of our friend and esteemed colleague, Professor Mark Q. Sawyer, earlier this year. Please join me in a moment of silence in Mark's memory. Thank you. Graduates, you gaze out today from a lofty vantage point. As you look back on your time at UCLA and the path that has brought you here, take pride in your accomplishments and in your hard work and determination. Take time to reflect on those family members, friends, and mentors who helped you along the way. Let those who made personal sacrifices that allowed you to succeed share in your success and in today's celebration. Let's take a minute to do that. I'll ask all the parents to stand, and the aunts and uncles to stand, and the grandparents to stand, and the mentors to stand. And I'll also ask our graduates to stand and give a round of applause. Thank you, thank you. Please be seated. Tomorrow, you may head off to law school or medical school, start a new job, travel to a new place, or just take some time to catch your breath. In any case, you'll once again be looking up at a new mountain and pondering the challenges that lay ahead. But today is a day for celebration, a day for a little swagger. And if you have younger siblings, some good-natured gloating. You've earned it. You are now a member of a select group, a UCLA political science graduate. Among your fellow alumni are members of the United States Congress, Washington journalists, Nobel laureates, judges, ambassadors, Peace Corps volunteers, and business leaders. Whether you are a future lawyer, public servant, teacher, business leader, academic, or artist, we will take great pride in what you accomplish. Your years at UCLA have prepared you for the future. The skills that you have learned and the talents that you have cultivated will serve you well. For example, you may have developed a deep understanding of foreign relations in a class with Professor Stein, or political theory with Professor Sissa. Perhaps you studied political economy of the developing world with Professor Ross or Professor Posner, or American politics with Professor Vavrick in PS40 or the 60s cluster. And you may have learned data analytics from Professor DiNardo, or honed your ability to act ethically with Professor Lohman. The value of your political science education will sometimes appear in direct and obvious ways, and other times in ways that are more subtle. But it will and it must appear. Do not run from the astonishing and sometimes frightening world in which we live. Run towards the challenges and engage in the conversations that will shape our future. Great opportunities for change will arise in these uncertain times, and our future depends on you seizing those opportunities. Bring light. But first, enjoy this day, take pride in your accomplishments, and give thanks to those that made them possible. Go Bruins!
Thank you, Professor Lewis, for that wonderful speech. Now, on behalf of myself and the 2017 graduating class, we would also like to take a time to honor and thank all our families, friends, professors, TAs, counselors, and everyone else present here today for all your hard work and support in making this accomplishment possible. It truly could not have been possible without you. Thank you. Now, I would like to introduce our student speaker, Andre Jones. He is a first-generation college student, served 3 years as a campus tour guide, spent his summers working as a camp counselor at UCLA Alumni Summer Camp Bruin Woods, represented the undergraduate students at ASUCLA Communications Board, and interned at various Hollywood studios. After graduation, he plans to travel to Central America, in which he would be volunteering in NGOs. And then he plans to return to Los Angeles and pursue a career in the entertainment industry. Please give a warm welcome to our speaker, Andre Jones.
Thank you so much, Stephanie. Before I begin, Mom, I love you. Thank you for everything. Come on. Good morning. My name is Andre Jones, and I am privileged to welcome you to the Political Science Commencement Ceremony, and I'm privileged to also represent this phenomenal political science graduating class. I want to sincerely thank you for attending, and I hope you enjoy your day here at UCLA. As I prepared this speech, my goal was to speak on a topic that each one of us graduates has in common. Besides the obvious, we are all political science majors. Law school may be in our future or definitely crossed our minds once or twice. When we speak of Barry-O, we don't actually mean President Barack Obama, but actually the amazing Professor Barry O'Neill. We all also can't tell you how many times we get asked, so what are you gonna do with a political science degree? However, these similarities just wouldn't cut it. I then concluded with the simple fact that occurred in our life even before we got to this campus. Each one of us had options. At least the large majority here at first may not have known if UCLA was the right university for them. Yes, UCLA does have the most beautiful campus in the world, and we also get the best weather. But how about DC? Why not be close to the action? Maybe Sacramento, our golden capital. I was one of those uncertain students. UCLA was a big, scary place, and it was a big decision we'd have to make. I want to share my story on why if we did it all again, I'd make the exact same choice. At first glance, I don't seem all that unique. I didn't grow up in a small town. I didn't fly from across the globe. I was born and raised in Orange County, California. OC. My little suburb called Tustin had a huge effect on the person I was growing up to be. I walked like my friends. I talked like my friends. I ate what my friends ate, which wasn't a problem when it was in and out, but it wasn't me. I was definitely not the Andre Jones you see speaking before you today. That would all change when attending UCLA. I say that because it was here at the university where I found my voice, socially, professionally, and surely politically. Today, I participate in marches and rallies. I stay informed on important decisions that affect my daily life. I speak up for what I believe in, and I rarely take no for an answer. And I could assure you, I'm not the only one. And how does such a big change occur in such a short time, you may ask? Well, here in Westwood, we create an environment where the textbooks aren't the end-all be-all. Our professors create a space where we are never afraid to question. We can, and often do, challenge each other's ideas without challenging one another as a person. Whether in the dining halls, maybe at the gym, strolling around Bruin Plaza, you are sure to find UCLA political science students expressing themselves, sharing their views, and pursuing their passions. A word we like to use on campus in a lot of our commercials to describe our students is optimists. And if I'm being honest, that word just doesn't suffice. We students don't just hope and believe in the success of the future. We don't sit around and wait for good things to come when the time is right. We are UCLA Bruins. We are also change makers, innovators, activists, and even revolutionaries. The students that sit before you today are the next great generation of movers and shakers on both sides of the aisle, in the courtroom, and at the round table. Let's go. To my fellow students, look to the left and to the right of you. Those on the edge, I apologize, just look one way or wave at a stranger. Do you not believe deep in your heart that the same people you spent hours in Powell with, crammed in the TA lounge a bunch with, the same people you asked again and again, so how much is this final worth? Won't one day be great? Because I do. We come from a long line of greats here at UCLA. We will soon join the ranks of a distinguished Bruin population, all who came before us. We will soon be alumni of the single greatest university that this state, that this country, that this world has to offer. We are on the same level as George Takei, Carol Burnett, and Jackie Robinson. Kind of. And this all wouldn't have been possible without that first decision we made to come to UCLA long ago. Today, I am no longer just another kid from Tustin. I am the first in my family to graduate college. I am the older brother to a 7-year-old sister who already has the main goal of attending UCLA one day. I am my ancestors' wildest dreams, and I am not one in a million either. Many students here today were given a voice by this institution. Many found their true selves here. Our time may have been filled with ups and downs, but it granted us with memories that would last a lifetime. Without choosing UCLA, there never would have been a Cowpen Fiat Lux where he took some of us to go meet President Obama on Air Force One. That wasn't me. I wish. There never would have been a TA named Knox who up and left us to DC right before we graduated. He came back, by the way, if you guys want to see him. And there never would have been a 1,000-person stampede for all of us to get tickets to see Professor Vavrick interview Hillary Clinton. And all these memories we will carry beyond our time at this university. On behalf of the graduating class and myself, thank you, UCLA. Thank you, friends, faculty, and staff, and family. Thank you all for giving us a voice and empowering us to find that same voice here at this institution. Thank you.
Thank you, Andre, for that phenomenal speech. And yes, go Bruins! Bruins pride! Woo! Now, I would like to welcome Professor Lori Laisher-Yoakley, who is the director of this year's honors program, as we congratulate those seniors graduating today with honors and honors from our department. Please welcome her.
Good morning to the political science graduates, parents, and friends. This is a very special part of the commencement program, which acknowledges our graduates awarded departmental honors and highest honors. Each year, senior political science majors with outstanding academic records are invited by the department to apply for admission to the political science honors thesis program. This program is designed for students desiring a rigorous and intensive research and writing experience during 2 quarters of their senior year. Students work independently on their projects under the direction of their thesis advisors. Many of these faculty members are here today, and we thank them for their hard work and dedication to the Departmental Honors Thesis Program. Let's give them a applause. 16 students completed the 2-quarter program this year. 12 students are here today. Each student on this stage took charge of an original research project and proactively pushed it to completion. Today, we honor their hard work. I will call each student in alphabetical order. When I call your name, please step forward to receive your certificate. Francesco Araga, applying social identity to the study of conflict and cooperation between the United States and China. Please step back. Namandale Namandale Bantagarya. Mongolia, a test case for democratization theories. Jillian Bowen. Weapon of war and recruitment, the Islamic State's use of sexual violence in Iraq and Syria. Gwenal Kylan Haas. 21st century obstruction and the effect of public opinion. Courtney Craney, Democracy in the Dark, newspaper coverage of the 2014 open seat U.S. congressional primaries. Hope Foshing, comparing the effects of internal and external factors on terrorist group success in waging terrorism. Adrian Morton, internal party divisions in Congress and their impact on party organization during the nominating process. Alexander Nabari Nusi, origins of the axis of evil, how psychological factors may have prevented rapprochement between the United States and Iran. Zhang Park, is it actually the economy? Examining the relationship between economic anxiety and anti-immigrant attitudes. Michael Pinkerton, monetary policy and economic voting, the recession and its aftermath. Lauren Spingu, the role of democracy in the internal financial contagion of 2008. Stephanie Student. Oh. He's going to get in alpha order. It's okay. It's okay. Woo! It's okay. He's going to get in alpha order. Jared Shreve. Go ahead. Supreme Court decision-making, the influence of judicial ideology and court politics on case outcomes in salient cases from 1961 to 2014. And finally, we have Rolando Villa Torres. Mexican-American political behavior, oppositional politics in borders and non-border states and countries. We would like to give all of these students who received honors and highest honors a welcome round of applause. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Fraser-Yoakley. Now, it is my pleasure and great honor to introduce this year's keynote speaker, Jim Lansone. Jim is part of our very own Bruin family. He graduated UCLA with a Bachelor's of Art and obtained a JD and MBA from Emory College University. He was a co-founder and president of eTour.com and later went on to hold various executive roles at AskJeeves, a top 10 global internet property. Some of the roles that he held were SVP of Product Management before he became CEO. Now, Jim is the Chief Digital Officer of CBS, President and CEO of CBS Interactive, a perennial top 10 internet property with more than 300 million users. Lansone is responsible for the strategy and operations of CBS Interactive worldwide, which includes various video services such as CBS All Access, CBSN, CBS.com, CBSSports.com, and CNET. Please give a warm and well-deserved round of applause for Jim Lansone.
A little higher there. Thank you, Stephanie, for that kind intro. And thank you, Chairman Lewis, for inviting me here to be here with you today. As some of you may know, CBS was recently branded an enemy of the state by the leader of our government. So it actually took a lot of courage. To invite me here today. Hopefully I can make it through the next 10 minutes without invoking the ire of you-know-who. I'd also like to congratulate all of the parents and families here with us today, and of course, happy Father's Day. I know this is bittersweet for many of you, the sense of pride balanced with the pangs of seeing them grow up so fast. So let's try to focus on the positives, like the growth you're about to experience in your personal freedom and finances. One more lunch this afternoon and you're done. Then you'll be the proud parents of full-time Uber drivers. You're poli-sci grads, driving people around the city, waxing on about the emoluments clause. And of course, most importantly, congratulations to the UCLA class of 2017. You made it. Now, I know millennials are always being teased about wanting trophies for the smallest of accomplishments, but today is legitimately a major accomplishment. These aren't just participation ribbons they're giving out up here. In fact, with a degree in your hand from UCLA, now one of the top 10 universities in the entire world, from this day forward, your possibilities are literally endless. Unlike, say, if you graduated from USC, where it's preordained that starting tomorrow, you'd be running your parents' commercial real estate company in Newport Beach. All right, or residential real estate company in Newport Beach, or Manhattan Beach. It has to be near a beach, because you need a hobby when all your sports teams are always on probation. All right, so way back in 1993, I was sitting right where you are now, graduating right here in Poly with a degree in political science from UCLA. I don't remember much about that day, or the 48 hours that preceded it. I just know that I really didn't want to leave. In fact, I stretched my final 4 classes out over 2 quarters so I could spend the summer in Westwood without a job. Certain things back then were the same as they are now. Bruin Walk, Sproul Hall, the steps in Royce Quad, North Campus, Pauley. Westwood's a different story. Where you have In-N-Out, for us, was a sizzler. We got all our music at Tower Records on Westwood Boulevard. And Tower Records fans? And Barney's Beanery was called Stratton's. And by the way, Stratton's was owned by the guys who started Headlines and Jose Bernstein's Rest in Peace. And Mongols, rest in peace. All right, so to set the scene for you a little more, my class of Gen Xers, who by the way, we were also called the slacker generation by our elders, so being called spoiled and lazy is just a rite of passage. My class saw the fall of the Berlin Wall our freshman year, protested the first Gulf War our sophomore year down at the Federal Building. Grunge appeared that year too, thanks to Nirvana and Pearl Jam, causing us to wear flannel at all times, no matter the temperature. That said, we still had MC Hammer, Milli Vanilli, and Vanilla Ice spinning at our parties, and not even ironically. Okay, a little ironically. Junior year, on the night of the Rodney King riots, my friends and I watched the smoke and fires spread across the city from a hillside up in a vacant lot in Brentwood. Senior year, Bill Clinton was elected, and by the time of graduation, he'd been in office about the same time as Trump has today, and nobody was calling for his impeachment yet. Yet, that would come later. For my friends on the 5-year plan, they lived through the O.J. White Bronco chase and the Northridge earthquake their final year, and we all barely missed out on overlapping with the 1995 Hoop Squad that won our last NCAA title, but Tyus Edney and Ed O'Bannon did come to a lot of our MC Hammer parties. So speaking of UCLA basketball, some of you may remember the UCLA-Oregon game this past February right here at Pauley. We won. Bill Walton was calling that game for ESPN, and for some reason, with under a minute to go in a 2-point game, UCLA with the ball, Bill went off on one of his tangents. For no reason, he started reciting a list of all the legends who have given speeches here at Pauley over the years, from Albert Einstein to Muhammad Ali to Martin Luther King Jr. And all of a sudden, I started to really worry about this speech. Those are some big shoes to fill. I just wanted to watch Lonzo Ball, and now I have to follow in the footsteps of Martin Luther King? So after the game, I started watching a lot of commencement speeches on YouTube. I didn't want to give the same advice everybody else has already given. I wanted to be original, and I wanted to be prepared. And then it dawned on me, none of you have seen any of those speeches either. Why would you? Who just sits there and watches commencement speeches on YouTube all day? I could give you the exact same advice as everybody else, and you'd never know the difference. I won't do that, but since I did all that research, let me give you the spark notes on what I heard. From Tim Cook to Will Ferrell to Oprah Winfrey. These are the ones you hear over and over again. First off, they're always 3 things. They might be different, but they seem to come in 3s. And they include, follow your dreams. Do what you love and you'll never work a day in your life. Try really, really hard. Even then, luck plays a big role in every success story. Relationships matter more than accomplishments. Make your bed. That's a new one. A Navy SEAL gave that advice last year at Texas, and it went viral. He now has a book out called Make Your Bed. Be selfless and save the world, no pressure there. And appreciate your parents while you still can. Some biased speakers. And of course, to a person, everyone said that they were the least likely people at their graduation to wind up giving this speech. All that is great advice, and I'm no different. Every time I've taken the road less traveled, it's paid off. Luck played a huge role in my life. My relationships, especially my family, are more important than my career or anything on my personal bucket list. And I certainly never assumed when I was sitting down there that one day I'd be standing up here. On the other hand, I never thought I wouldn't. In fact, that was my response when my son asked if I thought I'd be heading back to UCLA as commencement speaker. No, but I never thought I wouldn't. And I quickly realized that this belief has been core for me through the years, going back to my days in grad school. And it's the first of my own 3 guiding principles I'll humbly offer up to you today. Not talking myself out of things based on what could go wrong, but being open to the possibility of what could go right. I say graduate school because, like many of you, I didn't know what I wanted to do when I walked out of Pauley, so I did what a lot of poli-sci grads do when they have no idea what to do next. I went to law school. And I hated it. Now, my father is a lawyer and has loved it for almost 50 years of practice. My amazing wife of 20 years, Shannon, was a lawyer and loved it. In fact, she was a prosecutor and trust me, you did not want to be on the opposite side from her in an argument. You still don't. You really don't. But I felt stuck after my first 2 years of law school. Luckily, I had some friends in the JD MBA program, and even though I'd never had a real job, I went and took the GMATs anyway, in the dark and in the snow, on my birthday in January 1996. I'm not sure I really thought they'd accept me, but I applied anyway because, on the other hand, I never thought they wouldn't, and I got in. Business school was like seeing in color for me. Everything immediately made sense. And that next summer, I was lucky enough to get an internship at a company that was old school online, like the 80s version of online, with dial tones. It competed with LexisNexis, for those of you who remember that, and didn't yet have a website. In 1997, I helped them build one. As my basis, I used a website that I had started using to play fantasy baseball. And because I didn't know any better, I basically just copied it. Next thing you know, that product was a top 100 website, and one of the first to make real money through credit card transactions on the internet. The company wanted me to stay on after graduation the next year, but instead, 2 classmates and I decided to start our own company. This was the very early days of the dot-com boom. We had no idea if we could do it, but we never thought we couldn't. And by the time I graduated in 1998, we'd already raised over $1 million in venture capital and had 20 employees of our own. We suspended disbelief and just went for it. Just like later, when I was part of the team that turned around Ask Jeeves, which had been left for dead after the dot-com crash. Or after that, when I turned down a public company CEO job in my mid-30s to start another company from scratch, which we later sold to CBS. Or even today, when we, the digital team at CBS, are now in charge of making the next Star Trek TV series. I never thought we couldn't or wouldn't make those things happen. And as fate would have it, 20 years later, that fantasy baseball site I copied to make my very first product in 1997, not only is it still going strong, it was bought by CBS in 2005 and is now part of CBS Interactive, where I'm the CEO. So years from now, when you're getting your Pulitzer or signing a treaty or crushing it as a prosecutor, and someone asks you if you ever thought you'd make it that far, I hope you say, not necessarily, but I never thought I wouldn't. Now look, that also makes it sound all neat and pretty, and it wasn't. That first internet company, even though we wound up raising over $50 million, and at one point we're filing to go public, it ultimately crashed with the rest of the internet and crashed hard. We went on fumes for a while and finally found a home at Ask Jeeves, but that was a minor miracle. Jeeves itself was one of the poster children for that crash, and we not only had to turn it around in the aftermath, we had to do it straight into the face of the rise of Google. My next startup, an internet video search engine and programming guide for internet TV, was like walking a tightrope. And many times I thought about what life would be like if I'd just taken that public company CEO job instead. In hindsight, it all fits together nicely, but at the time, the path forward was foggy, to say the least. So I drove by the fog dots. You know those little dots in the middle of the road that reflect as you drive? I didn't know exactly where the road was heading, but I kept the faith and kept going in the general direction that felt right, even when the road less traveled was an understatement. So that's my second principle. When you hit those foggy patches yourselves, don't stop. Keep moving forward using whatever clues you can to decipher which way is best, and just drive forward one dot at a time. Eventually the fog will clear and you'll be further along than you might have imagined. The third and final pillar of my belief system is the most important, builds on the first two, and is best explained in a quote. It's by that noted Gen Xer, Leonardo da Vinci. Quote, "It has long since come to my attention that people of accomplishment rarely sit back and let things happen to them. They go out and happen to things." I'll go a step further and suggest that life usually conspires for things not to happen, or worse, the wrong things to happen, unless you go out and do something about them yourself. Every step of my journey since graduation has reflected that attitude, even when things were hard, and they were hard all the time. But every single time I broke off from the established trajectory of my life, personally or professionally, it paid off. It didn't always go as planned, but ultimately I was rewarded for going off script and not just letting things happen to me. Now, what if there are people in your life telling you to stick to the script, to not tempt fate and let the momentum just carry you? That'll happen if you're lucky because it means people care about you. And for that situation, I have another quote I come back to, this one by one of my heroes, Ernest Hemingway. Quote, "People will judge you no matter what you do, so you might as well do what you want." As you get older, this attitude becomes even more important, and it reminds me of another UCLA graduate my friend Blake Krikorian, the founder of Slingbox, who passed away suddenly last year in his mid-40s. Blake, who played water polo at UCLA and whose brother Adam was the women's water polo coach here for many years and the Olympics coach, collapsed last August after surfing, the victim of a heart condition that had gone undetected. Blake was a titan of Silicon Valley, having pioneered Slingbox, sold another company to Microsoft, been a board member at Amazon, and invested in many startups, including mine. Blake had recently made a decision to forego funding for his third startup and to focus instead on his family and personal passions, including surfing. He was in the best shape of his life and the happiest I'd ever seen him, and then he was gone. I say this not to bum you all out on this wonderful day, but to inspire you that when I say to go out and happen to life, that doesn't necessarily just mean your career. It could be anything you want to do. Last year, I dug a paper out of my 9-year-old daughter's backpack where her teacher had asked the class to write out their life's goals. Hers said, "I have very clear goals in life. I want to be a housewife with an art studio." A year later, she now wants to own a store that sells slime, including custom slime, some at a discount. Her sister wants to be the CEO of YouTube. Either way, who are we to judge? I think Blake taught us that everyone needs to drive by their own fog dots to their own destination in this hazy future, because as cheesy as it sounds, you probably only get one shot at this, so you better make it count. So be like Blake. Go out and happen to life. Don't let it happen to you. If it gets foggy along the way, don't stop. Just keep driving by the fog dots, and who knows where you might end up. Maybe somewhere you couldn't have imagined, or maybe somewhere you could. I wish you all the best of luck. Stay brave out there. Go Bruins. Now come on up here and get your trophies. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. I'll now ask Professor Stein and Professor Thies to step forward as we prepare to confer the degrees, and you will line up and we'll hand them out.
Over here because
Okay, so he's got to be right here.
I'll take the cards when you're done. What? I'll take the cards. Perfect, thank you.
Wendy Bonilla.
Oh, great. Great.
Elon Bradford.
Kyle Brower.
Austin Barraza.
Jack Avery.
Ian Henderson.
Michael Bozian.
Sam Key.
Haley Nevanes.
Melissa Myers.
Eli Mordecai.
John Flynn.
Sarah Zuckerbraun.
Eric Mendez.
Jennifer Fuentes.
Ruzbe Vidal.
Andrew Morales.
Roz Sadagat.
Julio Berrigan.
Niaz Sadagat.
Alexander Barska.
Sarah Estefan.
Jahan Kazi.
Michelle Embery.
Grace Haan.
Delaney Morris.
Cindy Neighbor.
Riley Mikesell.
Derek Dowd.
Mackenzie Kidlicka.
Nora Weiner.
Rebecca Quist.
Jesse Miner.
Nilufar Irani.
Amanda Ludwig.
Simone Herring.
Jonathan Delgado.
Haley Collins.
Andres Ernesto de la Cruz.
Hilario Barra.
Christine Kabayan.
Marka Varun Bajit.
Tiffany Rowe.
God Punatawabit.
Karina Salazar.
Roberto Gutierrez.
Samantha Sukaram.
Edith Ramirez.
Catherine Botanegra Sped.
Alexa Carner.
Stephanie Coe.
Emily Miller.
Shahid Ali.
Christine Chung.
Christopher Diaz.
Kelly McCormick.
Julia Eberhardt.
Daniel Kolka.
Ian Chung Moses Park.
Zachary Houston.
Rebecca Hong.
Kristen Wolf.
Gustavo Reyes.
Nina Jessa Rosel Amaranta.
Christian Lincobos.
Peter Torpy.
Sarah Khan.
Kendall Schreiberg.
Janina Lemoya.
Natalie Onken.
Raul Martinez Jr.
Casey Christensen.
Samuel Castrillon.
Paige Atkinson.
Mohammed Saad Qureshi.
Alec Morgan.
Aaron Triong.
Unjishnu Das.
Kevin Kaviania.
Christopher Campbell.
Peter Mayesian.
Magali Jimenez.
Brian Fung.
Crystal Ventura.
Prabnik Heer.
Annika Dale Tabor.
Christian Garcia.
Zoe Hartman.
Nardine Hanna.
Jorlanice Avalar Lopez.
Natasha Quack.
Thelma Estrada.
Irfan Dokovic.
Tiffany Chang.
Tiffany May.
Elizabeth Lossing.
Adriana Contero.
Tyler Steindorf.
Dallas Rippey.
Xavier Amarille.
Zach Bunker.
James Jordan.
Axel Dominguez Gonzalez.
Alexander Rim.
Janice Lamb.
Jason Correa.
Carolina Yamato.
Ashley Gomez.
Nia Caitlin Wall.
Olivia McCoy.
Nicholas Adomaitis.
Latiana Kareem.
Theodore Wu.
Daniel Chinchilla.
Paula Nazario.
Alexandra Romano.
Cecilia Bonilla.
Christopher Kosrabadi.
Olga Ponce.
Angelica Gotzev.
Christian Halsig.
Kevin Puldar.
Lauren Elizabeth Walker.
Gali Benchoshan.
Miguel Romero Ocoa.
Layla Cohen.
Carolyn Ye.
Conrad Ulumia.
Astrid Burgos.
Sophia Taylor Isakowitz.
Kelly Lee.
Gerald Smith II.
Zachary Rosa.
Jonathan Moniz.
Nicholas Sharon.
Briannan Clip.
Victor Martin.
John Breen.
Anush Ambartsumayan.
Juliana Paradise Battellini.
Norir Zagakaran.
Andrew Maley.
Harrison Bordarian.
Norma Yanet Reyes.
Alexander Nesikolachi.
Bernadette Panetta.
Gunny Han.
Gabriela Sanchez Miraz.
Jacob Belson.
Anne Marie Mendoza.
Inbar Gorin.
Min Q Huang.
Eric Binder.
Daniel Lebzon.
Niaz Yodegar.
Blake Backer.
Jasmine Rachel Kiai.
Alex Staff.
Eric Thompson.
Spencer Atkins.
Lisa Boyven.
Brandon Edward Jin. Blake Turner.
Alexandria Miller.
Stephen Kent Lee.
Monique Elliott Smith.
Angelina Wynn.
Jacqueline Adelsberg.
Herman Bustra.
Avery Minor.
Michael Daniels Jr.
Rachel Cohen.
Sylvia Supratman.
Yasmin Kalhor.
Rachel Kim.
Rebecca Mikel.
Sydney Wright.
Cynthia Kozian.
Sharon Yu.
Colette Yousefian.
Maritza Morellas.
Shant Vaskurishun.
Aaron Ing.
Mark Baskar.
Gabriel Zavaleta.
David Manrique.
David Danieli.
Eric Melendez.
Gabriela Camano.
Brian Lewenstein.
Marcus Tonsick.
Jacob Muller.
Alejandra Maria Duenas Brun.
Amanda De Gruccio.
Mushki Bates.
Got it. Sophie Arbaugh.
Savannah Herzog.
Stephen Mayan.
Mindy Lujan.
Akil Reddy Charukapali.
Julia Raven.
Jasmeet Singh Randawa.
Corey Wilson.
Christopher Hahn.
Julia McCarthy.
Yara Assad Hijazi.
Claire Fahy.
Shai Tab.
Sydney Young.
Allison Lindley Bylan.
Barrett Curry.
Hannah Lee.
Blake Moreno.
Dana Yu.
Christian Camarena.
Samantha Stafford.
Chase Privet.
Sujit Chirukamili.
Ariana Zanoria Garcia.
Iwana Igunuranashu.
Ana Karina Palacio.
Rosa Ruiz.
Jennifer Nguyen Lee.
Ivana Gutierrez.
Jonas Tiamsen Velasco.
Elizabeth Hernandez.
Amy Shao.
Brianna Zavala.
Josh Bachtran.
Jack Gordon.
Rachel Wanjogo Korea.
Shamir Jafari.
Warren Chu.
John Caldemeyer.
Michael Damasco.
Yanni Kutsadindris.
Matthew Navarrete.
Marty Romo.
Cody Harrison.
Shania Hunt.
Daniel Jeske.
Annalise Joan Bradley.
Cole Tegner.
J. Cameron Gates.
Braden Cooley.
Nina Marie Gerardo Tauscher.
Krishna Shagran.
Ellen Jung.
Dylan Sands.
Audrey Shakilian.
Nader Kakan Nabasi.
Beruz Amirvadi.
Sara Junaid.
Marjan Bonzonde.
Zoya Chabra.
David Moreno.
Christina Coteza.
Erica Kim Zhang.
Alexis Moran.
Shelby Radfar.
Julia Nista.
Alex Contreras.
Arturo Flores, Marine Corps veteran.
Hubert Kwang Hui Tran.
Anthony Albro, U.S. Air Force veteran.
Tina Yu Fan.
Samuel Martinez, U.S. Army veteran.
Tracy Swan Pham.
Johnny Maldonado, U.S. Navy veteran.
Feiyang Lu.
Natalie Michaela Pazmino.
Philip Kenai Huang.
Mariana Saldana.
Cindy Tai.
Laura Lombardi.
Christina Sumabet.
Jade Carly Tong.
Brittany Bayun.
Namiko Naka.
Gabriela Roper.
Grace Chow.
Ami Lee Huang.
Amar Bra.
Ricky Horowitz.
Nargis Sahibzada.
Alex Angard.
Selena Lomeli.
Fraser Stead.
Sara Daniela Mulato.
Anashe Agajani.
Brandon Christopher Petrakowski. What's up, Dad?
Daryl McDowell.
Kip Pascual.
Alexis Olma.
Noah Breslauer.
Nathaniel Haimpour.
Robert Andrew Chakani.
Yue Teng.
Matthew De La Rosa.
Stephen Dewey Cassidy.
Ruby Udo.
Julia Kathleen Savage.
Patrick Gus Malcoon.
Livia Camille James.
Jocelyn Catherine Gonzalez.
Emily Wolf Hughes.
Kimberly Julissa Olmedo.
Emily Page Aguilar.
Cristian Cesar Martinez. Daniel Lopez.
Matthew David Solit.
Victor Bocanegra.
Taryn Dale Jacobson.
Sheely.
Sabrina Sarah Petros.
Minsu Kim.
Noelle Eileen Niederhaus.
Selena Flores.
James Arlen Wiley.
Breton Dennis Ambrose.
Daniel Turner Marshall.
Brian Fedorov.
Armin Mavusi.
Brandon Ronquillo.
Kyla Magana.
Arno Shiverju.
Julian Ray Rodriguez.
Davis Wyatt Popovich.
Tao H. Win.
Alicia Siddiqui.
Jiyoung Lee.
Abigail Rose Gores.
Sujun Cheng.
Mila Abushmai.
Sagar Mukesh Desai.
Kendall Elizabeth Hayden.
Andrew Chang.
Philip Lee Scher.
Connor Duncan.
Daniel Michael Cook.
Patrick Yang.
Jonah Birnbaum.
Nuri Kim.
Gile Alejandro Gomez.
Hannah Hanjung Kang. Hi.
Stuart Allen William Keaton.
Yuri Chung.
Vanessa Hernandez.
Paul Youngin Yang.
David Marsh.
Dorian Isaac Carrera.
Christopher Harper.
Eric Anguiano.
Hannah Elizabeth Rawson.
Martin Hermes Deshawn.
Desiree Sorab.
Adrian Renee Mims.
Lily Gavorkian.
Brooke Ashlyn Bernard.
Hillert Abrahamian.
Jessica Chung Hernandez.
Alvaro Enrique Wong.
Kathy Bowie.
Antonio Miguel Santos Javiñar.
Fatima Safa.
Jasmine Rodriguez.
Valeria Mariana Gallardo.
Dominique Alferez.
Bill Zhang.
Tao Win No.
Chi Chen.
Deanna Woodman.
Sydney Marie Watson.
Julian Manuel Araujo.
Delaney Kathleen McComb.
Robert Gardner.
Bernard Simca Zach.
Yuli Nishiyama.
Joshua Isaac Cordova.
Bianca Melissa Bullock.
William Garcia.
Yari Flores.
Farnzane Alefard.
Efren Pignon.
Alexis Aceves.
Monica Barnett.
Andrea Mija.
Evelyn Martinez.
Laura Rios.
Caroline G.
Tulsi Sharma.
Shadi Haririan.
Stephanie Studin.
Marissa Nicole Roldan.
Alessandra Muse.
Martin Alejandro Crespo.
Jacqueline Sandovar Lombarden.
Susie V. Genosian.
Blair Page Everett.
Chen Yu Xia.
Sarah Splain Mudd.
Gerardo Mulato.
Dominique Angel.
Brenda Alejandra Gonzalez.
Aaliyah Nicole Phillips.
Rushil Pankaj Patel.
Andrea Herrera Ramirez.
Nikita Menon.
Christian Valenzuela.
Francesco Arriaga.
Vancaria Vanier Tatum.
Namandalai Bhatt Jargal.
Joshua Paul Bradshaw.
Jillian Bowen.
Armand Jordan.
Gwenel Callejas.
Cameron Michael Crutison.
Courtney Craney.
Daniel Sterling.
Hope Nicolette Foshing.
Jason Zhang.
Adriana Rose Morton.
Benjamin Mauricio Cacer.
Alexander Nabavi Nuri.
Hakarian Chauhan.
Jong Park.
Nakia Jackson.
Michael Pinkerton.
Christian Sanchez.
Lauren Spingu.
Osvaldo Hilado Itamin.
Jared Logan Shive.
Sengu Kim.
Rolando Villa. Andre Jones. Sandra Shanuda. Stephanie Rodriguez. Angelica Cervantes. Tomás Felipe Arriaga Villafiña. Alejandro Rodriguez. Gabriela Aquino.
Yeah, we're almost there, guys. Woo! All right, so before we complete our degrees, we have a very special song that's going to be sung by Sandra Shanuda. So please rise for the Hills of Westwood to be sung and remain standing for the official conferral of our degrees by Professor Lewis. Thank you.
Hail to the hills of Westwood, to the mighty sea below. Hail to our alma mater, she will conquer every foe. For we're loyal to the Southland, her honor will uphold. We'll gladly give our hearts to thee, to the blue and to the gold. Thank you.
All right. Well, it is my pleasure once again, but this time to be the first to address you as alumni of the University of California, Los Angeles. All right, we just have one more thing to do, and that's the turning of the tassels from left to right. So, ladies and gentlemen, prepare to adjust your headgear. Right to left, yeah. All right, turn your tassels. That that concludes our ceremony. Thanks everyone for coming. Happy Father's Day.